Hello all, I'm Julien Busson from Shakos Games, and I'm very happy to be with you today. And I will explain you how to play Saladin. So here is the box of the game. So this is one of our last game. It speaks about Saladin, which is a medieval leader. And the game will display two battles where he fought against the Crusaders. So you can see here Richard the Lionheart. So the Battle of Athens and Artuf. So I will try to explain you how to play. So we'll go directly into battle. So we'll move to the game board. I will show you how to play this game. Okay, so here is the game board. So you can see that you will have, I will be on the Crusader side here. So you have Saladin here and his troops on the other side. So the goal of the game is to be able to keep command and control over your troops. So you will have a set of orders. So orders, there are these small tokens here that will be used all the game in order for you to command your troops. So you will lose some of the orders definitely. So you will move them away and you won't be able to use them anymore. So as far as the game will go on, you will lose more and more orders till you have none left. And when there is no order left, you have lost the game. So it's pretty easy. As soon as you don't have any more orders, you are not able to command your troops. So they just flee, they just go away, and you lose the game. So the goal of the game will be to keep more orders than your opponent in order to win. So how will we do that? So as you can see, we have a game board with some wooden bars here and some cards. So each card will represent what we call a bunnier. So this is the formation, in fact, made of several troops. It could be men at arms, it could be mounted knights, it could be bowmen. So this is not really important. So a set of troops, so a card, and on the game board, some slots here where you will put these wooden bars that we call lance. So a wooden bar is a lance. So the clues we have here will be a card and 8 wooden bars that represents the troops you have in this formation, in fact. Okay? So you have the same thing on the other side. So you can see that there are some formation with much more troops, like the formation of Henry II, for example. And this is, yeah, the explanation about how it works. So a bunnier, some troops linked to this bunnier, and the most important part are the cards. So I will explain how it works and the anatomy of this card. So we move on. I will show you with one of the cards. So this is the card of Sablé. So you see, you have the ID of the unit that you can find also on the game board. So the name, just below, you have some other ID. So there are on the left the bunniers, the opponent bunniers that you can fight again, and on the right, the bunniers that can fight against you. So in this case, Sablé will be able to attack Saladin. You see, there are the same symbol here on the top right. And on the other side, it will be the target of Saladin when Saladin will try to fight. Okay, so this is the right wing, in fact, of the Crusaders, and in front it's the left wing of the Ayyubids. Then after, this is the main part of the card, you have a menu of action. Oh, here it's in French, but game also exists in English. And this menu action, you have several actions you can select. So I will go to describe how it works. So like, for example, this action, which is called charge, this is pretty easy. because this is a Bernier with some knights, and this knight, they can perform a charge in order to try to break the rank of the Saladin Bernier in front of them. So first you have a number here, which are the number of orders you have to expand in order to perform this charge. So the number of orders you have to spend. So for example, 2. So I take 2 orders from my available pool. The orders I will use to perform this charge. After you have the effect. Okay, you have the effect of the action. So in this case, most of the time, effects are dice. Okay, you have to roll dice in order to see what happens. In this case, you see there are 3 red dice and 1 green dice. When you have some red dice, the results of the dice, they just are affect your IUBID or your opponent in this case, but the IUBID Bernier. Red dice, if the effect applies to the IUBID Bernier. And the green effect applies to Cruiser de Bernier, so it's pretty easy. So in this case, you have 3 dice, okay, 3 red dice and 1 green dice. We'll see a bit later the results you can have on the dice and what it means. Okay. Then last, there is a symbol here. You see with white background. In this case, it means that the status of the Bernier will change. So this is maybe the a bit most difficult part to understand, but we will go in this specificity a bit later to explain you fully what it means. Okay, so you have other action, like for example, like this is tenir, which is in English is hold. In this case, you just expend 1 order, and the Bernier just stays. Okay, they don't charge, they just stay and wait to get an opportunity in order to perform a charge a bit later. As soon as you have done this action, you just turn the card, so it means that the Bernier has been activated. So you see there is a small symbol just on the top. It means that this Bernier has performed his activation and 1 action. So this is very important, and we come back to this a bit later. So move back again. Okay, so I explained how it works in action. So afterwards, you see there are some background of the action. Here is a sand background, and here is a white background. In fact, this is what I told you a bit before. It will depend. You will be able to perform the top action when you are in an uncommitted status. So it means you are not yet engaged in close combat. You are not still engaged in melee. So you are able to do a certain kind of action, and on the bottom you have on the white background some action you will be able to perform when you are committed. So this I will explain when we come back to the game board. I will explain more precisely what it means. So this and this, and for the IUBIDs you have some specific action on the green background that we call reaction. In fact, when Crusaders Bernier will perform a charge, will be able to do this specific reaction action in order to evade or to avoid the charge. So this is really important for you as an IUB to be able to keep as long as possible this opportunity to avoid a charge and avoid to have these 3 red dice, because this is quite hurting. And to use this reaction, you have, again, number of order is 1. You have here what you use the effect. So there is one green dice and 1 red dice, and compared to the other action, when you perform this action, you don't turn back the card. So this is very important. You don't turn it back like for a regular action. You just stay that way, so you will be able to avoid charge more than one time. And what is important is that if you do something else, for example, like a skirmish or a harass action, you will have to turn your card, and you won't have any more this reaction action in order to avoid the charge. So this is something really important. You have to be really careful about when you use your reaction or not in order to avoid to get a big charge from the Crusaders. Okay, so we go back to the game board. So I will show you how it works with a quick turn of play in order to illustrate what I just explained you. So we will start to play with Crusaders. We will first, Henri II, we will start to use one of the action, which is lose, so tir in French, but it's lose, so they just set arrow fires in order to touch and to hurt one of the Ayyubid Bunir. So Henri II is able to target two of the Ayyubids Bunir, so you have to do a choice in this case. So either this is Ala al-Din Ir or Ala Abdal. So we decide to use one order to perform this action. This is just one dice. So we throw the dice. Okay, this is no result. So, well, not very a very good action, but whatever. It's over. We turn the card. Here you used one order, so you move 8 up. So you see there are some small symbols. In fact, what the orders here are the orders available, and when you move them up, they are just spent. Okay, so we have done this small action, so nothing really interesting at the moment. On the other side, we will try to do, like, for example, like which one, Ala Abdal, which is here. We will do a rain of arrows, as you can see here. We'll try to do something much better than the Crusader. So it costs 2 orders. So you move your 2 orders. You will be able to target either. So here you see Henri II. We will target Henri II as well. So with 2 green dice. Okay. So we throw the dice. And here it's much better. So I will take this opportunity to explain you the results you can have on the dice. So either nothing, like we have done the other results, or you will be able to do some losses on your opponent. In this case, your opponent will lose 1 lance, or it can also lose 2 lance. So there is 1 out of 6 chance to do this result. For the one, this is 2 out of 6, and 2 out of 6 so for nothing. And the last one is lose an order. So your opponent will lose an order. So it can be tricky at some times when your opponent is missing some orders and you just do this result. It can be even more hurting than just to lose a lance. So in our case, we add this result. So Henri II is here. He has lost 2 lands, so we just remove them and put it there, which is a lost track. So it's quite important. You have some small numbers here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it means you have to start to remove the lands from the left to the right and from bottom to the top. This is quite important. I will tell you why just after. So we have done our action. We spend this order here. We have made the dice roll in order to get the effects, and we turn again the card. Okay, so coming back to the Crusaders, so you see every player just activate a Bunir, then his opponent do the same, and it moves like that till everybody has activated his Bunir. And as soon as all Bunnies have been activated, you just move on to another turn. So we will do, with Sable, we'll try to do a charge, you see, because this is quite interesting to do a charge. So we expand the 2 orders, and we will target Saladin. But Saladin doesn't really want to be charged, so he do a reaction here, evade, esquive in French, but it's evade, so you expend one of your order, and you just, so the charge is just cancelled. In fact, they try to go to contact, but the other ones, they just flee away and move away in order to avoid the charge. And you will launch 2 dice, 1 green dice, 1 red dice. Oh, we go, here we are. So you see we have a result for the red dice. So the IUB has to move 1 order from the available to the spent. So as I told you, it can be hurting because you have less available orders in order to command the other Bunir which are not yet commanded, ordered. And on the other hand, there is 1 loss for the Crusaders. So now we have 3 losses here. It starts to be a bit annoying, we'll say. Sable did an action, it was cancelled, but whatever, we turn it on the ordered side. Saladin did a reaction, so it stayed on his deployed style, so he will still have to perform an action. Then moving on to the IUB, so okay, we will try with a skirmish with Saladin. Here, so 1 order, so it's pretty easy, just 1 dice. Okay, again, 1 loss for the Crusaders. It starts to be a bit difficult for them. This time, this is an action which is not a reaction, so we turn it back. Activation is done, and we just turn the card because he has been ordered. Now, moving to the Crusaders. So you can see that when you ordered 1 of your Bunir, he still has the capacity to perform an action. So there is much less. For example, there were 6 on this side. And here, he has just 3 left. But he still has the opportunity to perform a charge. And as Saladin did activate, he has no possibility anymore to react. So we take this opportunity to use 2 orders, so moving them from available to spent pool, and this time we'll be able to do this powerful charge with the 3 red dice and 1 green dice. So let's move on. Wow, it's pretty good. So 1 order spent for the Crusaders, same thing on the other side, but there is 3 losses for the IUBs. As I told you, we did perform a charge, so there is a small symbol saying that now you move to engage or committed status. So you move, this is the only move you will have really on the game board. As you can see, the troops just stay static. You just declare that you attack one of the targets you can attack, but you don't really move the wooden bars on the board, except when you have this symbol. So it means that in this case, you move on the white slots here. And from now, the 2 bunnies are committed, so they are in close combat, in melee combat, so are fighting against each other, and they will use the action of the menu of action on the white here and white here part of the card. Okay, so here is we have seen an action how it works to change status and everything. So now I will just explain a few specificities in order for you to understand some specific point. So there is something which is important. As you have seen here, we have lost 3 lances on the Saladin veneer, and we have the small symbol here, which is a +1. It means that to activate in the following turns, to activate this veneer, you will have to use 1 more order. So if you want to perform a skirmish action, which is normally a cost of 1, then this time you will have to use 1 + 1, it means 2 orders. So as the losses just stack, then it will be more difficult to control your veneer and your troops, which is quite normal. They start to be exhausted, they start to be hurt and everything. So it's more difficult to control them in order to order them to fight. Then, if you have more, this time this +2, and here they are just lost, but we will come back to this a bit later. So first step is this thing. Then afterwards, let's imagine that we lose 2 more lances here. We have 6 lances on the losses track. At this time, we just remove them. We move them and we put it back in the box. It's pretty easy. And at this time, you lose permanently 1 order. So this is quite hurting. Because this order is not in your spent pool, or is not available anymore. It just lost. So you won't have it available for the next turns. So as soon as you have losses, you will have less orders to control your troop, and it will be more difficult to activate them. Okay. So you see a bit how the dynamic of the game at this point. Like I told, you have, like, for example, this regroup action, like for the Crusaders, because for the Crusaders, if you want to perform again a charge, then you have first to regroup, so you move them away, okay, and after you can try to do again a charge in order to get the big effect of a charge. So here it is, which is very important afterwards, is that if you have no more available orders and you still have some veneers that are not activated, so take example that we have activated everybody except from the veneer of Lusignan. So I'll just move on to show you up the card again. You don't have orders, so you can't perform a lose action, for example, or one of the other actions that costs 1 because it's not possible anymore. So you have to do the 0 action. So it costs 0 orders, but look at what you suffer in this case. It's 3 green dice. So if we just throw the dice, so it's an awful result for the Crusader, for the Lysian banner. In fact, he will lose 5 lands. Why? Because the troops, they are not anymore under command, so they just flee away, they just go away, because yes, there is nobody to tell them what to do, so they just flee. So you have this kind of few orders. You have order for the Crusaders, which are in controlled charge, so it's a bit less hurting, but whatever, because you launch, so the knights, they just go and they just charge in disorder, but it's much less efficient than normal. But yes, it's less hurting than to do that's to flee. Okay. So everything about this game is about the capacity you will have to keep enough order and in order to control your troops. So at the beginning of the game, it's pretty easy because you have plenty of orders and much more orders than the number of beignets you have. But as soon as you start to have losses, like I explained to you, when you lose 6 lands, you lose an order permanently. You will have less order, and more important, every turn, at the end of the turn, we have the chaos phase, and you lose 1 order permanently. So this is something you lose. Every end of the turn, you lose 1 order. And if one of your beignets has been totally destroyed, so it means that there are no lands left inside the beignet, then you will lose 1 more. Like, for example, if Lusignan has been totally destroyed, you give it to your opponent, and at the end of the turn, you will lose 1 order plus 1 because the Lusignan beignet has been given to your opponent. So as you can see, it can be quite quick. As soon as you start to accumulate some losses, it can be very, very quick, and you will lose your capacity to command and control your troops, and till, well, yes, you lose. So everything will be about your capacity to keep orders and control over your troops compared to your opponents. Okay, so I will just show you the cards of the leader, because I didn't speak of it, but here we have Richard and Saladin, and they have also some action. So the first one, you can get back one of the order you used, which is in your spent your spend pool, to make it available again, so it can be quite useful at some time. Here is a specific action just for Richard. He can add 1 red dice when he's performing a charge with his beignet, because Richard also has his beignet, you can see here. And you can also take back one of the lands which was eliminated previously. So it can be also useful in order to not to go to the 6 lands lost and lose 1 order permanently to try to do this action. When you have used, again, you turn it back, and as you can see, it's your leader is used, so it's activated, so you don't have any more action possible to do. And this is exactly the same thing for Saladin. Okay, so coming back to the board, I think I did not forget anything. So you have seen how to play this game. So in this box, you will find 2 battles. So Arthur battle, which is here. Each battle will have some bit specific action by adding some chrome about to be more historic. Okay, so I won't go into details about this specific action, but I will just show you the other battle, which is on the other side. So we just destroy everything, and here is the Atin battle. So it's a bit specific because during this battle, it was really a big defeat for the Crusaders. In the middle of the battlefield, we have the True Cross, which is one of the most important relics of the time for the Christians. And yes, you see that the Crusaders, they try to protect this True Cross. So they are here. And in fact, they are trapped by the Ayyubids, which are all around. And this is quite a difficult battle for the Crusaders, because they will have to try to break this this trap and to get out of this trap that the Ayyubid and Saladin has made. So the kind of actions you have is exactly the same than the other, but except that you have maybe some other kind of action, but I will show you just a few cards, but we find the same thing than for Arsuf. Yeah, but for example, here you have really something really specific, like Sam Lulu. He was able to set fire on because during the battle they set fire on some brushes in order to put confusion inside the Crusader ranks, and it was quite well. So you have some specific set of action just made for a team, but everything is described by the rulebook. So it's over. Was really happy to explain you the rules. I hope you will enjoy playing the game. I hope I was clear enough. If you have any comments or any question, you can just comment. Yes, just below the video. I will be happy to answer your queries and everything if you have some. And well, I hope I will see you a bit later in order to explain you more games. And I hope really that you will enjoy playing Saladin. Bye bye.